Hey everybody, this is Shane R. Monroe, and I've got a plethora of fun little tools and toys here to play with. I've been wanting to do a video of some of these things for a while. I just got this Sega Genesis Mini. I got it all hacked up. I'd like to show you around that. And I just got a hold of this 15.6-inch portable monitor, which is absolutely fantastic for things like the Genesis or for a Raspberry Pi. Or even your phone. This will actually do a Samsung DeX. So we're going to show you a whole bunch of things in this video. And we will start off with the Virzen 15.6-inch portable monitor. This is a completely self-contained device, and I'm going to have my camera guy come up here a little closer and show you some of these ports here in just a minute. But the idea behind this little guy is it's essentially a portable screen. It's fairly lightweight. I don't remember the exact weight on it, but it's convenient enough that you can slide into a suitcase, you can slide into a bag. It is not battery powered. In other words, there's no battery in here. You still have to provide external power. But it will do a multitude of different things, which is really, really neat. It does have a headphone jack as well for private audio. So why don't you come on up here and let me show you some of these ports here, so you can take a look. And then we're going to turn this guy on. So over here on this side, we have a OTG USB hub, which will be really handy if you're using a USB-C device plugged in. This is your multifunctional rocker. It's a push button as well as a volume up and down. It also lets you make menu selections. The headphone jack, speaker output. Then on the other side, we actually have a mini HDMI in, which is perfect. It comes with a cable, an adapter, and then you have your USB-C in and power. Right, so I believe, make sure I got this one right. Yeah, power's on the top and the Type-C USB is in the middle there. All right, so now that you've gotten to see that, I'll go ahead and put this guy back into its little proper standing case here. It's magnetic, so it grabs the back of it. So we'll see if we can keep this at an angle that shows up well on the video.
I recommend not touching the screen.
Yeah, obviously I've already put my paws all over the screen, so it's all dirty. So that's what we're going to be using to show off these devices today. And we'll also show you around that device a little bit. Let's move over to the Sega Genesis Mini. This is another one of the classic Mini lines where they take some very popular small console like the NES or the PlayStation 1, and they turn it into a portable little retro all-in-one ready-to-run package. In this case, this is the Sega Genesis, also known as the Mega Drive if you're from Europe. And it just was recently on sale at the New Year for 35 bucks, which is like half price. So of course I had to jump on that. This guy comes with two full-size controllers. Right, so I haven't unwrapped this one yet, but it does have the extra controllers. It does come with its own power brick, although it's standard micro USB, so you can, and I'm going to be actually using a battery pack to drive it. I'm not going to be using the adapter or the cable that comes with it. It does come with a nice HDMI cable, pretty long one too. I haven't unwrapped that as well because I've got my own. But that comes in the box with both controllers. Now you will notice, of course, those of you who are eagle-eyed will notice this is a 3-button standard Sega Genesis controller. There's no shoulder buttons. There's only 3 and a start. So if you're used to seeing, say, the 6-button controller, this one's a little more primitive, and that will reduce the sorts of games that you might be able to play using this device. That's something to note. So now that we've got that, let's take a look at the little guy proper. So obviously there's no real cartridge port here. I'll just take this plastic off. I hadn't gotten around to that yet either. So here we go. These are functional sliders. This is the headphone volume control. This actually does work up and down. This is a reset button and the on-off switch. Those are actually real. On the front you'll see 2 USB ports. I haven't actually tried to put anything else in there other than the official controllers. And on the back side, of course, you have HDMI out, and you have your standard USB, micro USB power adapter. Nothing else really to note here. What's this guy? Now this I did not note before. Is this a real deal? It's the same dude. Ah, that looks like a slot for maybe an SD card or something at some point. I wonder if that was, I'm gonna have to investigate that. I wonder if the manual says anything about that. That's what you get for opening these toys and then not actually looking at the manual, right? Mm-hmm. And of course it does come with said manual. So,
did you read said manual?
I did not read said manual. That's my fault. Let's see if it says anything.
For anyone watching the video, if you see an occasional blur, that's my bad. The camera catches my finger every once in a while.
Yes, there's absolutely nothing in the manual that talks about that little port, so we'll have to do some investigation and find out.
It didn't look like the right size for an SD card,
It didn't,
but
so I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe that's for. Like
maybe
a
it was
JPEG
just
or
a
something.
little. I don't know. Maybe it was just something malfunction. I don't know.
All right, so now that we've got, we'll get rid of all this stuff. I do have a Pi back here. We're going to plug this Pi into this guy as well. But let's start off with what you probably came for, and that's to see this Sega Genesis Mini.
No, they came for the awesome camera guy.
That's right, they came for the camera dude. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is totally, by the way, on battery power. So I want you guys to see this. I've got two standard portable battery packs. This one has a USB-C.
Wow, so you can literally take this anywhere.
You could literally take this anywhere. So
Except for the ocean. Don't take him to
probably
the
not
ocean. No. Don't be that
do
stupid.
that, don't do
Yeah, don't.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy on. Just pushing in.
There's a lot of sun reflection off that screen. Maybe if I can just...
Should we turn it like this? Or like this? How about we do that?
Yeah, that's good, actually.
Alright,
Just
there
that, like that. You will see part of me, but that is complete.
There we go. So it's the Virzen, or Virzen, however you pronounce that. All right, and then I need HDMI. So we're going to go ahead and
Okay.
check this out here.
It's still reflecting a little bit, so I'm just going to pop on over here. Maybe we can reduce this light a little bit.
Yeah, but then you're going to reduce all the rest of the light.
No,
that
just
people
we're
can't
gonna.
see.
No, there we go. See, we're gonna have a little light here for where I'm standing. See, there we go. I still got plenty of light on you, but not as much. You know, like
This is kicking my butt now.
you can take it anywhere, but it's a pain to set up.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to do it without moving everything around.
Mm.
There we go. Just has to be at the right angle.
Should practice this before.
I probably should have. Okay, another battery pack to power up the Genesis. Okay. I think this went to sleep.
Uh-oh.
Okay, back on.
Oh.
All right, there we go. And so this, now this is not how it is out of the box. I've already hacked this with something called Project Lunar, as you can see right there. Very simple to do, very simple to do. It also allows you to run something called RetroArch, and as well as Emulation Station, which is popular on the RetroPie Pi solution. But let's just jump right on it. And there we go.
Is this how it looks?
This is how it actually looks. Now, the only thing that's different between what you're seeing here and what comes out of the box is I've added a few games to it. Some of these games obviously weren't there before. Let's go through here. So this is actually really well done. So as you can see, Aladdin, of course, is not one of the games that was previously on there. I added that one. I added a handful of other ones like Lion King and a bunch of other ones.
Those don't seem like they'd be good games.
But there's quite a good collection of games on here, as you can see from the box. These are the games that come with it. I'll try to get that up where there's some light. There's 40 games plus 2 classics, and they're all there. You can go to the website and look at that. So that's pretty good. 42 games, not bad at all. Plus you can add your own to the internal memory. You don't need. There's no USB drive or anything else required. There's a whole bunch of memory still on board to add more games. I've added about 20 of them, and I haven't even used half the memory yet.
So why don't you get on to a game? Maybe we can see what this thing can do.
We're going to do that in just a moment.
Oh.
One thing I'd like to show is that if you hit B, this is sort of undocumented, it's probably in the manual, but if you hit B, it puts it into a library view where it shows the sides or the splines of the boxes, which I always dig that. So you have 2 different ways to look at it. You can also go to the top and change the sorting order. So you can order by genre, number of players, release dates, or A to Z. So that's a little trick you can do when you're actually adding your own games to the unit, is to set the release date to an older value. That way you can get all of your games at the top if you sort by release date, versus letting it choose what the release dates are. Then we'll go from A to Z. If we go to your settings, these are, of course, things that people like to see. There's some read first, language selections. You can change your screen. So you can use more of a realistic 4x3 approach, or you can do the fit to screen type solution. Of course, we the purists like to have it in standard original aspect ratio. Wallpaper settings, you can choose a couple of different, sorry, I'm doing this from the side, it's freaking me out. So you can change to different wallpapers. There's credits, legal notices, all that good stuff, and of course a factory reset. So you got some decent options. Let's jump into one of the games. Let's not piss Disney off and put Aladdin on there. Let's go with something that was built
How about
in.
Sonic? I mean, that's like one of the big icons of Genesis.
That's right. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, I
Did
think you
it?
just... Yep, there it is.
Sonic the Hedgehog. All right, so we'll go here.
I remember this is the only game that I've heard of in Genesis.
Well, you're young. All right, so now we're looking at Sonic the Hedgehog, and of course it gives you a little, it tells you what the genre of the game is, how many players, etc., etc.
Release here? Wow, that's kind of interesting.
And then we'll start. And since it's not screen stretched, of course, we can see the wallpaper behind us. As you can see, I mean, I don't know how well it's coming over the video here.
Oh, it's really good. It's almost exactly how it is out here.
All right, so I'm turning up the volume here. That's maximum volume, which of course you really can't tell over there, but it's totally good enough to play. So I'm going to just let it run in demo mode instead of me actually playing it. But wouldn't you agree, Brian, that the colors are really nice on this portable monitor?
It looks exactly like it probably would play on a Genesis. I mean, I've played this on other devices and stuff, and it looks like, you know, the old Sonic games. I mean...
Yeah, from the games that I've played, and listen, I'm not a Genesis purist by any means. I mean, I was a Genesis fan, but back then I was an Amiga user. Let me turn this down so I'm not yelling over it. From what I can see, the emulation's pretty solid. I have heard that there are some games that don't quite play right if you add them later on, but the included games and the games that I've put on have been really, really well done. So if you hold the start button down, you'll go to their pause menu. This is important to see. So now you can actually have individual save slots. You can save your progress.
So are the save slots for one game, or are they for every game?
No, just each game has 4 save slots. Good question.
Wow, that's cool.
And you can reset the game from here, or go back to the menu, or of course resume. So this is great. So you can be in the middle of a game, just take a snapshot. Now this is fairly common with all the new minis. They all have save slots, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's nice to know that it's here.
Yeah, in case you're like going for a speed run, you mess up, you can just
go back.
Just go right back to where you were. I mean, you wouldn't save in a speed run.
So let's look at something that didn't come on it, like say Mortal Kombat 2. Just as a little back note, Mortal Kombat 2 is why I got a Sega Genesis.
Really?
If you can remember back to those days, Nintendo had the Super NES, which was definitely, from a hardware point of view, a far superior system. Come on, give me some FaceTime here, Brian. We'll get back to that in a second. So the Mortal Kombat, when it came out on these classic platforms, only the Genesis version had blood.
Really?
Yeah, the Nintendo version decided they were going to censor it and turn the blood green. So when it came time to buy a system to play Mortal Kombat 2, which was all the rage in the arcades at the time, it was my choice to say, listen, I know that the Genesis version is going to have blood. I know it's not quite as good. It's not quite as graphically good. The sound isn't as good as the Super Nintendo, but I know for a fact that Genesis is not going to hide the blood. As it turned out, Nintendo made the right call, and they released Mortal Kombat 2 uncensored. But by then, I had already purchased a Genesis.
Too late.
And I was already playing Mortal Kombat 2. It actually, I think Genesis, if I remember right, had a 2-week release window that was ahead of time, too. Oh. So Genesis was the first place you could play Mortal Kombat 2. So let's take a look at how Mortal Kombat 2 stacks up here.
So you're pretty much saying that Nintendo pretty much made everyone have reptile blood.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
That's not good.
Well, they were trying to be the kid-friendly family platform.
Well, it's called Mortal Kombat for a reason.
I know. And how do you hide that? I mean, that's the best part of the game is the blood and the gore and everything.
Yeah, that's the iconic part of Mortal Kombat nowadays is how much violence and
Now I'll tell you though that playing Mortal Kombat with a 3-button controller kind of sucks. I mean, you really need a 6-button controller, and I do not have a USB 6-button controller to throw on here. So I can't tell for sure if it will support that. But the game itself is 3-button controller setup, and if you go to your options, you'll actually find a means of turning on extra controls, right? If you happen to have a different control schema.
So what does each button do? Do you have what are the 3 buttons do? Jump,
I have to go back in here. Let me see here. Let me just.
Oh, and you're going to go for very hard?
Let's just go with medium difficulty, I guess.
Oh, come on.
Done. All right. Let's get started.
So back then in Mortal Kombat, they didn't have a move list for you to learn, did they?
No,
you just had to learn combos by luck.
This was before the internet too, so you couldn't just go up on the internet and find move lists or do any of that sort of thing. So that got handed around on the back of napkins at arcades and things like that. It was crazy.
So people would probably spend hours learning, move sets.
It's hard to do this sideways too.
You want me to move it? I can move the camera.
Nah, that's cool. Just want people to be able to see the
and learning fatalities too. I mean, fatalities can consist of 5 different buttons. Well, in this case, not very many. Oh, come on. You lost.
Yeah, I'm literally looking at this sideways. You have no idea how hard this is to see. No, that's all right. I'll just leave it there. I just want people to be able to take a peek and...
Come on, do your little knifey knife thing. Yep.
Don't you love that? You can pretty much...
That's pretty much why this was the rage game of the 80s or 90s. Yeah. Because of that nonsense. You can't escape it, and it's
awesome.
I don't know why they got rid of Baraka in more other games recently.
I don't know. I guess they decided that where's the block button?
Well, actually, with the release of
there we go.
With Mortal Kombat 11, they brought him back.
As well, they should. So let's talk about the controllers for just a minute. So these controllers, now listen, it's been a long, long time since I've held an actual real Genesis controller. Overall, it feels a little bit lighter than a standard Genesis controller. I seem to remember them being heavier. So they feel, to me, maybe a little cheaper in design. I know a lot of people buy these mini consoles just for the controllers. I mean, these controllers alone are $10, $15, $20 if you were to go to eBay to buy a USB Genesis controller.
Wait, really? Just these controllers right here?
Just for a USB solution that looks, feels, and has the same layout of an original controller. So a lot of people buy these so that they can use them in other devices like Raspberry Pis or on a PC. In this case, I feel like it feels pretty good. It feels solid. The buttons and the D-pad feel like they used to feel, so that's great. Let me go ahead.
Is this actually what a Genesis controller looks like?
This is a verbatim Genesis controller. It looks exactly the same. The color spots are the same.
Really?
The start button, everything. This feels like a real Genesis controller.
And the start button actually looks like a Good and Plenty piece.
It does look like Good and Plenty. It makes Good and Plenty. Nom, 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 nom. So anyway, so that's the Sega Genesis, and I do have videos out showing how you add games to it. It's Project Lunar. I haven't gotten around to experimenting with RetroArch or with the emulation station on here yet. I'm pretty much going to keep this stock because I've got a Raspberry Pi to do gaming emulation, and we're going to plug that in and see how that looks here in just a minute. I've never plugged in a Pi into this thing.
Really?
I'm assuming it looks great, so we'll do that together. All right, so that's it. That's the Sega Genesis Mini. Very, very exciting.
I'll give you one more look at that.
All right. So, and again, this was all powered off of a power
Really,
pack.
just a standard old battery?
Yeah, standard old battery. I'm going to go ahead and just unplug that guy, and we'll set this to the side. It looks really nice, right? It's smaller. It's probably...
well, I mean, I haven't seen a Genesis, but I mean, it looks like one of your old consoles, you know?
Yeah, so we'll just set that to the side.
I mean, I've seen, like, the mini Commodore, and it looks exactly like a regular Commodore 64.
All right, so let's go ahead and we'll move the power supply over to the Pi. And we'll see if this thing... I loaned this to a friend, so I have no idea coming back if it's in good shape or if...
Well, I better cover the camera. No,
why is this thing being a pain?
Well, because we're on video, so...
All right, cool. So now we've got a nice little Raspberry Pi. This has... Of course, this is a Raspberry Pi. Everyone knows what this looks like. I do happen to have a Logitech controller for it. I love this controller. Which was the model on this one? F710. These are great. These are about $40. They're hella durable. They're nice. They're big-handed.
Wow.
And it's got all the controls you could possibly want, and I've got my Pi all set up to use it. So
it doesn't seem like the normal gaming controller with the analog sticks. And
it's more like the DualShock, right, from PlayStation. They put the two analog
it seems like a lot
here.
Like a PlayStation controller setup. I mean,
it's a great controller. I love them a lot.
It does feel really solid. Jeez.
And so this is the Raspberry Pi booting into Emulation Station. And this is using RetroPie. And I've got this pre-configured with everything that I love, all of my favorite things. Now you can see that I'm having a little power icon there. That means that my power pack's probably not providing suitable power, but it's enough. So I'm going to turn the sound up here. I just want you guys to be able to see what the Pi looks like, because the Pi on the go, along with this portable monitor, would be great.
So what does the Pi do? What do you use it for? Like,
so the Pi is a little tiny computer, and whatever you can do with it is great.
So can you actually get to like Atari games and stuff on here?
Yeah, if I actually would wake the controller
and
up here.
Super Nintendo stuff, really? So you don't even need to have these little machines. You can just have the Pi.
And you know, that is that's a good point, right? So why on earth would you get one of these when all of the games that are on there are put on here as well, right?
Maybe people like, you know, going back to a time where these old controllers, you know, probably a lot of people had these in their childhood, and maybe they want to have a little memory of their childhood.
Right, so here is the Sega Genesis being used on the Pi, and as you can see, it looks great. It's got most of the games that I'd already put on there are already on here.
It looks like a lot of games.
Yeah, so obviously it's a little bit more than...
a little bit more?
I got a pretty nice set on here in terms of what's on here.
Looks like almost every game.
It probably is. But in any event, I haven't curated this list down to just my favorites, so I just put a dump of them on here. There's Mortal Kombat 2.
So, did you add all this stuff on here, or was it already on?
You can get pre-made images that you can then extract to your SD card. They do have those. I've personally curated this entire set, so everything on here is mine. So here we go.
Was it difficult to get all these games and stuff on here?
It's a pain in the butt, to be sure.
And how much was this Pi?
The Raspberry Pi is about $35 cheaper.
So it's around the same price as the Mini Genesis.
It really is. So it's really hard to buy a Sega Genesis or an NES Mini or one of those other ones when you've got a Pi that is obviously pretty close in price, right? So as you can see, we're back to Mortal Kombat 2.
Why don't you pick someone
else? I've got all the buttons now, so I'm in good shape. I got more buttons anyway. This is it's a weird setup. I don't remember how I got this all set up, but we'll find out in a minute.
I remember trying to play this against you and just...
Not doing as well as you could have. Oop.
No.
I gotta figure out all my buttons again.
You gotta beat the other Baraka.
I don't have this set up for the gaming pad either, so I've got this set up for the analog for some reason.
Yeah, I'm sure you're more used to the arcade one with the joystick and the like 6 buttons.
Yeah, I'm not doing well here. Anyway, you get the idea. So as you can see, the Pi works great on here. Any of the mini classics work just fine. Very great. It's very nice stuff. Let me see if I remember how to get out of this.
Is it the start button? Oh no, you just have to get finished.
Hang on a second. I have.
Nope. You got knocked into the toxic river.
Yeah, it's awesome, right? I have a double button combo or something that takes me back, if I remember right. Is that it? No. I don't remember. Anyway, you get the idea. I haven't booted this guy up in a while. Who knows what configuration changes my friend might have made. I don't remember what that was. But anyway, so we'll just shut down the Pi. So anyway, there's the Pi as it's played on the portable monitor. Looks great, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll go ahead and we will just pull the plug and hope I don't corrupt the SD card.
Oh,
so the other thing is this actually will support DeX, Samsung DeX, which is a portable computer platform that exists inside your smartphone.
Oh.
Make sure I'm not going to actually
which is what this video is being recorded with.
Let me just close out all. I don't want to see anything weird show up in my notifications. Who knows what somebody's going to send in the middle of this.
Oh, I'll text you in the middle of this.
Great, thanks. So what we need now is the cable that fell on the floor. So with a single USB-C to USB-C cable, I will plug in my phone into this portable monitor. And it will pick up my phone and enter DeX mode, which for some reason I can't figure out how to keep it inside of actual DeX mode. But it boots into the desktop. Hopefully it'll stay there. That's the DeX desktop, which is great.
The desktop?
The desktop. And then your phone actually acts as... Oh, it's going to behave this time. Nice.
That actually looks like kind of a big...
I did the mirroring. Damn it. Let me just flip back to DeX. So you can do mirroring mode or you can do DeX mode. And let's see, open the touchpad. So now my phone becomes my touchpad.
Oh, wait,
and I
really?
can actually use my phone
Like a mouse?
so now this is my phone in computer mode or in DeX mode being displayed on the screen. So it acts and looks like a regular sort of desktop, right? So
but it's got all the same stuff as like a phone.
But it's my phone, right?
Yeah, so right here, down here you've got your, tab button, your home menu, your back button. It's like all the same buttons and stuff you'd find on a phone, but it's in the form of a desktop.
So this is really cool. So you could actually, get yourself a little keyboard, right, and take this with you, and you'd have a complete sort of a portable PC.
You could you actually play games on here?
Yeah, you could actually. I bet I could put I could mirror Call of Duty on here.
Wait, like mobile or regular?
Yeah, the mobile version, of course.
If you want to, oh no, we can't do my phone.
I don't think your phone will work. I think I've uninstalled Call of Duty off my phone too. Dang it.
Well, actually, after this, how about this? We'll make another video after this that you guys can check out. It will be a video of us demonstrating Call of Duty Mobile on here.
And, of course, you can also change to screen mirroring mode.
So that's actually exactly what your phone looks like.
Right. So if I wanted to, say, go to a browser and hope that I don't have anything weird in there.
Oh, teacher card.
Right. So I can actually, you can actually do that. Or I believe, let me see if I can make this rotate. Perfect. Oh. So now you can browse the internet, right? And be up on your nice big device.
Yeah, see, it's just like being with the phone, except...
It's like having your own little computer.
Yeah, you don't even have to bring a full-on computer with you. You can just have your phone as your computer.
Right, and then I could jump into YouTube.
If you can spell it right.
Yeah, well, I just realized that why would I use the browser for YouTube when I could just...
It's on your homepage. Oh, never mind, it's right there.
Of course, I can't get this to rotate until I start playing a video. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. So now I can just jump in here, go to my channel, pull up my Witcher video.
Go to my channel.
You need a plug for your channel?
Please, I need some of these people to check out. I mean, I'm not updating any videos because I don't have the right...
So not bad, right? So you can see it's echoing what's on my phone. There's a pure screen mirror. With the popularity of Witcher on Netflix now, this game's been getting a lot more love.
Wait, there's a show on Netflix?
Yeah, you don't get to watch it, sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't get to play the game, so I figured.
But yeah, it's just like having a nice big screen.
And then, of course, you don't have to just check out this channel.
All right, Brian, hang on. Let me give you your plug. My cameraman wants a plug.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. No. I mean, I'm not related to you at all. I'm just an adult man getting paid for this.
Yeah, right, yeah. So Brian has his own little channel. That's my son.
So, what do you... I'm not your son. I don't even know
I have no idea who this guy is, but I figured we could plug him anyway. He's really damn good at Beat Saber. So if you want to see him, playing Beat Saber and trashing Thriller and Expert Plus Faster Song.
Yeah, we should make a video of me doing Holding Out for a Hero.
Holding Out for a Beat Saber.
No, this wasn't even the good one. This is the slow one.
Yeah, this is the old slow one. Anyway, so you get the idea. All right, so go check out Brian Monroe's channel, too. He's my son, my camera guy.
I still don't know who you're talking about, buddy.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. So here we go. So this is what we've got going on. We got the portable monitor, 15.6 inches, about $168
That's
from
not
Amazon.
bad at all.
There was a $20 coupon running around. So, I mean, I ended up getting some gift cards for Christmas. So when all was said and done, I got it for about $100. And you can I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of all sorts of great things you could do with this thing. And you're right. You could do amazing things with this, from Pies to Genesis to making this a second screen for your Chromebook. There's 1,000,001 uses for this thing. Like I said, it's small. It's portable.
Could you play PC games on here like Overwatch?
You could. This is 1080p. So this is a high resolution monitor.
It's kind of like a giant tablet.
Like a giant tablet.
Same carrying case and all. I mean, just pop this in your bag and you can take your gaming wherever you want to.
That's right.
Except don't scream on a plane.
That's right. So there you go. And then we looked at the Sega Genesis Mini. So again, this is easily hackable. Put your own stuff on it. No special hardware or anything required. It's great. We like it a lot.
Well, I haven't gotten to play it.
You haven't gotten to play it yet. But hey, it was on sale at GameStop for $35, which is like half the price that it was prior to. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and all sorts of good stuff. We vary our stuff from, we do VR stuff, we do gaming stuff, we do PC stuff, we do everything, right, Brian? A little bit of everything. Right, this is Shane R. Monroe. Thanks for watching.